Hi everyone, it's Gary here, and it's a very warm welcome to the fourth official and a very special podcast with a very special guest. Joining me to talk about his career is Rangers legend Scott Nisbet. Scott, it is an absolute honour and a pleasure to welcome you to the fourth official.
Thanks very much for having me on your podcast. I'm really looking forward to this.
No, as we were just talking off air there, Scott, as I was explaining, I got my season ticket at Ibrox for season 92-93 up in the club deck. So to actually get the opportunity to sit down and talk to somebody that was in the team in and around that time just takes me back to being a 10-year-old and walking up all those stairs up to the club deck as a 10-year-old boy and thinking this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. So it's great to obviously have you on. Quite timely as well, obviously, given the fact that over the course of this week, Rangers have managed to secure themselves a playoff place for the Champions League up against your friends from Club Brugge. And that takes obviously back to that memorable goal against them at Ibrox, which I'm sure we can touch on as we go through here. But before we get to Bruges and the Champions League, I wanted to kind of just start off with going back to 1985 and obviously you're signing for Rangers under Jock Wallace. Talk to me about how that move came about, obviously from you being a boy playing kind of schoolboy football in Edinburgh.
Jock Wallace took over from John Gregg, and I got my first apprentice contract, you know, and it was a YTS at the time. Also, believe it or not, it was a government training scheme we were on. Everybody was on, and it was £29.50. That was a 16-year-old. That was the wage, and that's when you had to earn the 2 years as an apprentice. Like you cleaned the changing rooms, you cleaned the boots, you cleaned the showers, you cleaned I picked up all the laundry, have all the first team changing room training gear already, everything like that. So it was like from 9 o'clock, and you wouldn't leave till 4 o'clock in the afternoon until everything was inspected. You know? And I got my breakthrough playing in the reserves, and then at the time it was the BP Youth Cup. Played in that as well, and I done really, really well in that. And then one day I went in the Ibrox, and the first team were going to Malta to play. And as you do, you just look at the sheet, and I was on the sheet. I couldn't believe it. I was on the sheet. I was going away with the first team at the time, and I was only 17 at the time. And remember the time when we're all lying around the swimming pool, ready to go training, and then Jock Wallace was on about the fourth floor of the hotel, and he just leaned over, and all you heard was Nisbet, up here now. So everybody went, oh, the gaffer's not a good mood with you. So he jumps in the lift, goes up, bangs on his door, walked in his room, and there was Mr. Gillespie and Mr. Dawson, the directors at the time. And I said, what is it, gaffer? And he just stared at me, and he went, phone your mum. I says, how, what for? He says, you're making your debut tonight. And that was it. So that's how I got my debut.
As obviously a young player, and Jock Wallace has got this obviously reputation of being a very kind of strict disciplinarian. I think if you look at that Rangers squad and the group of players that we had around there, obviously all the characters within that dressing room. So how daunting was it to be in a dressing room with the likes of people like McCoist and Cooper and
unbelievable. To play in a team with Coop is a dream. To play for Rangers is an honour and a dream. To play for Rangers and play in a team with David Cooper, to me, one of the best wingers of all time, was unbelievable. What that man could do with his left peg was unbelievable. You know? And then you had Coisty.
And I'm sure that there's plenty of stories that are maybe not for public consumption with the likes of kind of Coisty and Durante and people like that. But in terms of that kind of profile of character, I think it's like I've been, as I say, I've been watching Rangers now for all my life, but the current team seems to be very kind of shorn of that sort of kind of character people that
Yeah.
the fans can particularly relate to. Not necessarily needs to be local boys, but I think you do need to have something about you to be able to handle the pressure of the weight of the jersey. And I think that's something that a lot of your teammates back from the late 80s and the 90s certainly were able to handle that expectation that comes from the crowd, because playing at Ibrox, it's a different gravy to really playing anywhere else in the world.
Unbelievable. You run up that tunnel and 50,000 Rangers fans singing their hearts out, and in the atmosphere, you just look up and you go, you like you see the club deck, you look at the club deck and Sandy Jardistan, and it's all packed to the rafters. It's the atmosphere is phenomenal. But I was fortunate enough to play in a squad that had characters, were all Rangers boys as well. You know what I mean? You had myself, Coisty, Bomber, Goffey, Ian Ferguson, you know, all Rangers boys. You know, Derek Ferguson. You know, great honour, absolute honour, you know, to put on that jersey and run out.
And I think that's obviously where you go back and you look at that team. That's why those players were so renowned, and people of my generation and people that are around about my age look back at that and go, you were so spoiled by obviously that's the success, but it wasn't instant in terms of kind of get through. And obviously by the time kind of Graeme Souness came along, obviously there was a massive revolution there, but it wasn't instant by any stretch of the imagination. And that kind of mid-80s was a really tough time for a lot of people within that Rangers squad.
Yeah, it was a tough time. Rangers got sacked Jock Wallace because we've gone through a bad patch. And then they brought in Souness. Gave the club a big lift as well. And actually, Souness was quite lucky in a way when he came in, because England were in a European ban at the time, you know, for after the troubles abroad. So, and he managed to get the players, Terry Butcher, Chris Woods, you know, unbelievable signings. Graham Roberts as well. Ray Wilkins, what a player he was as well, you know. So, and everybody bonded together as well. And what was good as well, our training games were absolutely famous, because we had Scotland v England, you know, and nothing was held back. 60-40 tackles were flying in, you know, boys squaring up to each other on the pitch. That was the day before a game. You know what I mean? It was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Our training games as well, and with characters as well. And we all went out on if we done well, the gaffer would let us all have a day out on a Wednesday, and we'd all go play snooker or go to Steps Bar and played dominoes and stuff like that. No, but
And for the stays down to the races.
That was it. It kept all the boys together. No, but as long as you were there, as long as you were doing the business, the gaffer was brilliant with you, absolutely brilliant with you. No,
And in terms of
do the business.
Absolutely. And in terms of your own kind of position in the team, like anyone that watched you, Scott, going from the kind of term utility player, I think, got invented after seeing you, because there wasn't anywhere on the pitch that you didn't play for Rangers, apart from maybe in goal. But you were everywhere, from through the middle, in the midfield, on the wing sometimes, and then obviously you then found yourself at the back. So how was that just a case of you would play anywhere, or was that a kind of structured thing from the manager that he saw something in you that he wanted to kind of move you backwards?
Souness came to me and he said, "Look, we're struggling for a team. Can you play centre half?" Oh, I said, "Oh, Gaffer, I said, yeah, no bother, I can play centre half." Played the game, had an absolutely phenomenal game. And then Souness come up to me after the game, straight up to me after the game, and mate, you never play centre forward again. And that was it. So I ended up playing centre half. I stayed at centre half. Then I went to right back as well. And I tell you a funny story with that. We played Hearts at Tynecastle, and Kevin Drinkle pulled his hamstring in the first half. And Souness just looked back forward in the dugout and just looked at me and went, "Nizzy, centre forward." I turned around to him in the dugout. I thought you told me I wasn't able to play centre forward again. So I went on at centre forward and ended up scoring the winning goal, scoring the goal at Tynecastle. And then then we played Hearts again on the Wednesday at Hampden, and I scored again at centre forward again. So that was it. Then he dropped me.
That was Graeme, I suppose, wasn't it? But where do you, looking back on your career, where do you say that you enjoyed playing the most, or was it just being on the park? It didn't really matter where
It
you
didn't.
played.
Honestly, it didn't matter to me. I've been centre forward, centre half, right back, wide right, in midfield, solid midfield. I think I had a stint at left back as well. So it honestly didn't. As long as I was on that pitch, I was happy. I was happy. As long as I was running out that tunnel with the Rangers badge on my chest, I was proud.
You talk about, obviously, when Souness came in and were able to kind of share the dressing room with players like Terry Butcher and Gary Stevens and Chris Woods. As a Scottish boy, do you feel that we're able to kind of share the dressing room with proper English international, proper players? I think that lifted the level of everyone from the Scottish lads as well.
Unbelievable. You play me World Cup stars. I would say when I got put back to playing the defence, I was up against Terry Butcher for a position. I was up against the best right back in Britain, Gary Stevens. I was not competing with that. I was up against Goffey, Bomber. To me, I think John Brown, he should have got a cap for Scotland. I think that was a disgrace. He should have been capped for Scotland. Yeah, unbelievable player. Goffey, unbelievable player. Terry Butcher, captain of England, World Cup. Gary Stevens, best right back. But it made me work even harder. So I wasn't scared or anything. I learned a lot of them. I learned a hell of a lot of them.
I think maybe the issue with Bomber is that in that position, obviously at that time, you had the likes of McLeish and Willie Miller as well. Kind of even people like Gary Gillespie ridiculously getting picked for Scotland ahead of the likes of Bomber. But I think kind of centre back area of the park that Scotland were particularly decent in the kind of late 80s, early 90s.
That was it. You look at Bomber as well. Centre half, left back, midfield. He played all over the pitch as well. And he was exactly the same. Played all over the pitch. But to me, he should have been in the Scotland squad as well. Should have got a cap as well.
Absolutely. Talk to me a little bit about that changeover period then, when Graeme leaves to go to Liverpool, 3 games to go at the end of that season, and obviously the call goes out to Walter to take over and get Rangers over the line. That Aberdeen side were obviously flying that season as well, and that was a really close title battle, probably the closest that we've ever seen in Scotland, obviously not involving Rangers and Celtic. What was that like, and what was that threat from Aberdeen from a Rangers perspective in the dressing room? Was that something that the boys were awfully worried about, or did you always feel as if we've got this in the bag?
We weren't worried about Aberdeen. We blew it ourselves, to be honest. We could have won it at Motherwell, and we lost at Motherwell. And then I think Aberdeen were level on points, put them level on points, but had a better goal difference, if I remember. And then they went top. But we had some amount of injuries as well, and then it was all down to the final game of the season. Aberdeen, we went out there, and I tell you what, the atmosphere, I've never experienced anything like that. When Matt Waters got that ball, and he crossed it, and Haley went up with McLeish, and what a header! Into the top corner, and I still hear the noise today. Unbelievable. And the funny story was when we took before we went out, Big Matt pulled us all to the side, the defence to the side. This is right. Michael Watson goes. Whoever gets the ball at the back, launch it. Just launch it in the air in the box. I'm going to do them in the first 30 seconds. And I think it was Gary Stevens launched it, or I can't remember. I think it was Gary, and that's it. He pummeled back Michael Watt. And then the second goal, Michael Watt, sort of big Mark coming in, and he fumbled the ball in front of him and then knocked it in, and 2-0. And to be at that game, if we had never won that game, we'd been went on to win 9 in a row. That
Absolutely.
was
And I think you look at that game, I think in particular, that shows you the spirit of that side, because players were playing with injuries. You had Coisty coming on and playing right midfield.
That's right.
Just everybody was falling apart all around them.
That's it. Tom Cowan broke his leg. Tom Cowan broke his leg. Bomber snapped his Achilles. You know, and everybody just dug in deep. Played. I think Mo dropped down to midfield defence as well. Coisty came on and played midfield as well. It was just everybody in the trenches, and we went on and won it. It was absolutely brilliant, and the atmosphere, unbelievable. And it would have been so different if we lost that, because how did then the fans react to Walter Smith at the time? If you know what I mean, if we lost that, and that game went on and made history.
Yeah. In terms of obviously the change from Graeme over to Walter, obviously you've spoken very forthrightly about the impact that Walter had on your career a lot. Obviously, a lot of things that I've read from yourself, Scott, and everyone, I don't think anywhere has got a bad word to say against Walter. But what was that like being in the dressing room, to go from a character like Souness to then Walter taking over? Was that a kind of seamless transition, or was there quite a difference?
Two different types of managers. You know, the Gaffer Walter was a better man manager than what Souness was. I think Souness admits it himself, because he was only 30, 35, 36, 37. He was very arrogant when he first came to Rangers, and he let people know about it. You know, he had his big bust ups with Graham Roberts, his bust ups with Mo. You know, where Walter was more a man manager. You know, great in the changing room. Great on the training pitch. We always knew there was something wrong when Walter the gaffer came down from the director's box to the halfway line. You know? You always knew when he came down, you knew there was something wrong. You know? And that's when they knew at half time we were going to get a bollocking.
I think I've been lucky enough to meet Walter on a few occasions, and never a nicer man in football you could meet. But
brilliant, absolutely
brilliant. Kind of steely determination about him, but he seemed the character that players would run through brick walls for, and I think that was evident within the team he would pick.
100%. He got the best out of the players, absolutely best out of the players, and all the players, we all loved him. You know what I mean? He was just absolutely. He was approachable. He'd help you any way he could as well, off the pitch, on the pitch. It was brilliant. Souness' best signing, Walter Smith.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't disagree with you there, Nizzy. You mentioned Maurice Johnson, and I think it would be remiss of me not to just speak a little bit about what that was like on day one of Mojo being in the dressing room after obviously coming in, because I can imagine the likes of Coisty and Durante, that must have been an interesting dressing room that morning.
That was it. When you arrive for training in the morning, you know there's something going on in the morning when the commissioner Stan, the commissioner at the time, was all dressed up with his cap, his white gloves, his sash over, he's all suited and booted, and you know there's something going on. So gets in the changing room, and the rumours start coming in the changing room. We've signed Mo. No, we've not. We have. He's upstairs now. Coisty's with him now. And that was it. I can't tell you. I can't tell you what Ian Ferguson and Coop said at the time. That was it. So basically, also King Mo's in the building. We all got ready, went to training, went to Jordan Hill, trained at Jordan Hill. And time we came back for Jordan Hill on the bus, there must have been about 2,000-3,000 fans outside Ibrox, giving us dogs abuse, absolutely dogs abuse. So we go back in the changing room, got told we have to get a shower right away. The gaffer's coming down, So we all got showered. All put the shirt and ties back on. Next thing, Souness walks in with Mo and introduced us. Mo went round and shook hands with all the boys. But I've got to say, he was a good signing. He was a right good signing. He banged in the goals as well. He was some player as well.
He was probably one of the most naturally gifted forwards I think I ever had the pleasure of seeing. But we were honoured, so lucky, because you had him, you had Hateley and McCoy, split three strikers. You would absolutely bite your right arm off for even one of them just now, let alone all three of them being there at the same time. So again, just goes back to how lucky we were back at that time.
But that was the time Coyce was on the bench a lot. And he was keeping Coyce on the bench. And it was Hateley and Johnston up front.
But I think that for me, that made Ali a better player because he had to fight to get back in the side. So
he did. He did. And Coyce had his bust ups with Souness as well. So, but that was Souness. But he put Coyce on the bench for, I can't remember how many games, 15, 16 games, in a row. That was it. But as you say, it made Coyce more determined and a better player.
Being in the dressing room, Scott, obviously we spoke about that iconic game against Aberdeen, winning the league on the last day. That obviously sets you up for the following season. How much was Europe spoke about in the dressing room as something that Rangers really wanted to be better at? Because I think it's certainly in your kind of first few years, Europe was something that Rangers didn't really do that great in.
No, we never. Under Souness, we've never really done that great in Europe, to be honest with you. We got beat Bucharest, and over there. We had the nightmare couple of games at Ibrox as well. And then I always remember that tackle Souness done on the Still Bucharest boy. I was right behind him. If you remember the tackle, how that boy still got up after that tackle. It was unbelievable. But then Walter came along, and we changed. It was a brilliant run the night. Undefeated in the Champions League. But to be honest, I'm going to say it now. We were robbed.
100%.
100%. Absolutely cheated, and I can't believe to this day Marseille gets stripped of the title, the French title. Two players get banned. A referee gets banned. Their chairman Bernard Tapie does 6 years in jail, and UEFA never done an inquiry.
No.
Into the Champions League. Unbelievable.
Totally wrong. Back at that time, Scott, that was the Champions League, the proper Champions League, and that was the first season of the Champions League as we grew to love it. And obviously Rangers, Cabo Ogilvy being part of the kind of the makeup of that competition. But even just to get there, obviously the Lyngby game, relatively straightforward, but those two games against Leeds, I don't think I've ever been in an atmosphere, probably for a non-Celtic game, that will top that Leeds game from that year, because obviously there was none of them up, so it was full of Rangers fans that day. They score first minute, Gary McAllister for about 40 yards, and the whole place just went absolutely
unbelievable, so quiet.
I never ever came across Ibrox being like that ever in my time. I've never felt that, but to be able to turn that tie round, and I still maintain that game down at Elland Road is probably one of the greatest Rangers results that I've ever seen, and obviously they've got the goalie to thank for a lot of that performance. But what a couple of games to be involved in.
The Battle of Britain, but like you said, McAllister scored that goal within the first minute. What a strike, top and Ibrox. You could have dropped a pin and you would have heard it. So quiet, but boys never gave up. The English press had us beaten before the ball was kicked, because they had all the superstars, the English Premier League, and Cantona, Strachan, McAllister, Speed, the whole lot. But luckily for us, their goalkeeper had a disaster, Lukic, that night, and he punched it in his own net. And then we got the second goal, 2-1. But the English press still wrote Rangers off. And we went down to Ellen Road, and that was it. Big Mark Haley's goal, for the flick on, and his volley into the net was unbelievable. And the second goal, when Bomber nicked the ball to Durrani to Haley wide left, and he just pinged the perfect ball across to Coisty. And I'm shocked that Coisty scored a goal with his head, to be honest with you.
I can't even mind Haley putting a cross in any other time in his Rangers career apart from that goal. I think it was certainly not as memorable as that one. But
you see him, he looks up, sees Coisty on the far side, and he just pinged a perfect ball across. Coisty comes in, a wee bit of diving header, game over, tie over. And then for the last 15 minutes, Leeds did pummel us. Yeah, they did. But the goalie was in superb form that night. Absolutely.
Yeah. And he was for that whole season, to be fair. Like, I don't think that there was a better goalkeeper in world football that season than Goram.
Oh, the goalie. I loved the goalie. Goalie's my mate. I loved him. Could tell stories about the goalie all night.
And listen, that's why we've got you on, and I'm sure in your book, Scott, there's going to be lots of stories regarding the team at that time, Coisty, Goram, and much more likes as well.
Yeah, I've got the book's coming out next month in September. Red, White and True, all about when I first signed for Rangers, playing for Rangers, my battles at Rangers. It's everything up to even to this present day. My cancer battle, the massive support I got off the Rangers fans through my cancer battle, which was unbelievable. I had to deal with rats as well. They thought that I would be dead. They thought they could take a liberty while I was battling through my cancer as well. I had to bitch slap them back into place. Everything, my divorce, nothing held back. It's everything right up to this present day.
Yeah, looking forward. It should be a brilliant read. Obviously, a big part of that book will be that iconic goal against Club Brugge during that Champions League campaign. Obviously, a goal that you've dined out on for a lot of your life, Scott. But just talk to me a little bit about that night against Bruges, because the whole game, for me, aside from your goal, I think a lot of what happened on that night was a part of a big way as to why Rangers didn't get to the Champions League final that season.
Yeah, that night I thought we played Bruges, we're undefeated, we're going strong. You got to remember that was with the 3-form rule as well. We played in the Champions League with the 3-form rule as well. So that's why when the gaffer came in, he bought the best of Scottish players, like the goalie and all that. But what a night that was. The pitch was a state. Big Mark got sent off. We went for absolutely nothing. We went 1-0 up. Durrani scored a cracking goal as well. Big Mark gets sent off. So we're 1-0 off at half time. Gaffer comes in, does a brilliant team talk. Just keep battling away, keep it tight. If in doubt, Rosehead, just get rid of it. Just keep your shape. 60-40s, you know what to do. And we knew what to do. We knew what we'd done. And then they equalised. Oh no. They've equalised 1-1. And that was it. And then they were slowly getting into the game, getting more confident, because we were down to 10 men. And then the ball went down the right-hand side. Trevor Stephen crossed the ball in, came off the back of Stuart McCall's back. It just broke there. And I just went to go through the boy. And that was it. I went through him. It clipped his boot. I've got to be honest, when the ball was in the air, when I looked at it, it was heading towards Hart Hill. Never in my wildest dream did I think it would land right in the 6-yard box line and bounce over the goalkeeper's head. 2-1 up. And that was it. And we held on. And what a result that night. 2-1. It was absolutely brilliant. So look, the only one that didn't join in the celebration was Coisty. He was too tired.
Kind of some shift that night, to be fair. But to be able to kind of say that you're, because it's a very small list of people, I think, in Rangers history that can say that they've got a winning goal in a Champions League game, and obviously you're part of that and part of that kind of folklore in Rangers history. So like, to be able to kind of tell that story now to kids and grandkids and stuff, like, just what a special night and a special memory that must be.
I've never leave me. You know what I mean? It was an unbelievable night. The battle we had, the squad was magnificent as well. The noise, the atmosphere, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And like I say, we went undefeated in that Champions League, or undefeated, and Massey robbed us, absolutely robbed us in the final, to be in the final. No, but an absolute honour and privilege to be part of that squad in that era at the time.
Kind of bittersweet as well, that must be, because only 3 days after that Bruges game, you then also play against Celtic. You pick up an injury, but ultimately then leads to you having to retire. So, kind of really highlights those kind of real sliding doors, massive highs to the lowest of lows, and just talk to me about what happened on the park in that Old Firm game, and obviously how that then led to that being what finally ended your career at the age of 25.
I could just feel my groin and my hip and my bottom and my back in complete agony. It did no absolutely complete agony, and I just went down, and then I couldn't play on. It was 0-0 at the time, you know? And I said the physios came on, and then the doc decided, right, Nizzy, you're coming off. So when I went off, it was 0-0. At the end of the game, we got beat 2-0, but that was nothing to do with me. I left it at 0-0, okay? So it was nothing to do with me.
You were on the park anymore.
And I got sent down to Harley Street and had to go and get tests done, the X-rays and scans and everything that. And then 3 days later, I got brought in to see the specialist. And I sat there. There was all the specialists were sitting there, and they told me to sit down. And I said, "Yeah." I thought I was ready to go for an operation, and the three specialists said to me, "Your career's finished. Your hips are bone on bone now." No, he says we could do an operation on you and move a bit of bone from the bottom of your back and your hip, but we can't give you a plastic hip because I was too young at the time. I would wear it out. He says, but your career's finished. That, and then I was devastated. I had to phone the club doctor and the gaffer, and they told me get on a plane, come straight back up. Went over to America, and then they were exactly the same. They wouldn't touch me as well. They came to the same agreement with the specialist in Harley Street that my hips were gone. They told me if I kept playing any more sport, I could end up being a cripple. Which they've told me now, which is true now, because during my cancer battle I've been having, I've got 2 new hips put in as well. So they were right. So I've got 2 new hips put in it now. I've got 2 new hips put in now. So they were right. So, but devastated. No, but I fulfilled my dream. I played for the club I loved. I ran out the tunnel. I wore the badge on my chest, and I never let myself down. No, so
and I think that's the thing, is that people will look back on your career, Scott, and kind of similar to Al McLaren, I think, in a lot of ways as well.
Yeah.
He was another player who tragically we, as a Rangers fans, we probably didn't get to see the best of for long enough again, tragically due to injury. But both of you really honest pros, and I think, again, going back to that relatability piece that I think we struggle with a lot just now with players that probably see football maybe a little bit more as a job now rather than being for the jersey and being a fan. It's different times now.
I'll tell a story about that about Alan McLaren. When I got told to retire, and I was sitting in the changing room, and the boys had just ran out the changing room at 5 to 3, and I'm just sitting in the changing room getting my thoughts, you know. And Mr. Murray came in, in the tuning room. And he goes, Nizzy, just the man I want to see. I went, all right, Mr. Murray. He says, no. He says, you've cost me £1 million. I went, what do you mean? He says, I thought to buy Alan McClaren for Hearts to the pitch. I'm sitting there looking at Mr. Murray going, sorry, Mr. Murray. You've just cost me £1 million. There we go. But
Big
Alan's a
to go the other way
great,
as well, didn't he? So
he was a great lad, great player, Alan. No, absolutely great lad and a great player. No.
obviously, in later life, Nizzy, you've gone on to obviously move out to Lanzarote. People that have obviously followed you since obviously retiring, and I know recently you've had a kind of football academy and school out there in Lanzarote. Just how nice is it just to still be involved in the game in some context?
I absolutely love it. That's 19 years now for the soccer school now, and we were voted number 6 in the world for holiday sporting activities as well. So, like, I was up against Serena Williams Tennis Academy in Barbados. So but to get in the top 10, absolutely brilliant. So absolutely brilliant. So, in July there, we just had 1,165 kids, a record on the soccer school for July. So it's just all the kids that come on holiday, we from 5 up to 16, everything like that. So we do every nationality: Scottish, English, Welsh, Irish, Dutch, German, Italian, Spanish. So every nationality. So it's gone really, really well. So next year will be our 20th year next year. So I never thought it would last so long, but it's been absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Love it. I love it.
And I think obviously given those kind of very well documented health troubles that you've had over the last few years, Scott, nice obviously to be able to come out of COVID and still have that kind of bit of purpose and something to kind of fight for and kind of want to still be involved in the game and doing what you love.
Yeah, like you say, we've done COVID was an absolute nightmare. It's a nightmare for everybody, but here, this island, it survives on tourism, and no tourists, you don't earn, and that's it for 2.5 years. The island was shut, which was very, very difficult. So that was hard, and then I got the cancer as well, and I had to deal with that. But I kept battling away, and fortunately for me, I still coached through all my cancer treatments and everything like that as well. So I never missed a day coaching the kids as well. I was determined to get there every morning, even though I'd just been operated on, even though I just had radiotherapy as well. When I got my 2 new hips put in as well, I coached when I was on my crutches. The kids were brilliant, so they would hand me the football instead of me having to bend down. So it was brilliant. So it was great, and I've seen these kids from 5-year-old up to 16-year-old now. So it's been brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. It's been an honour and a privilege.
That's a measure of the man that you are, Scott. That strength is there for you want to still to kind of carry on no matter what. And I think that goes back to what we were talking about 25, 30 minutes ago with that. Some of the characters from that Rangers team is that strength is something that you don't see now in terms of people that are just willing to give every single little bit. And I think it's one of the biggest criticisms I think that people of my generation have got of modern footballers is that they don't have that the kind of injured at the drop of a hanky and they're out for 4 weeks. And we didn't grow up with that. You have players that would play with broken legs and all sorts, but it's a different world.
Tom Cowan broke his leg against Aberdeen, but he played on. He played for a bit, but then he had to go off. Bomber was taking injections before the game, so he could play in it in his Achilles before it snapped. That's the kind of players we had. Players that would play through injury and take the pain. At the moment, the last couple of games for us have not been good at the moment. We need to dig deep now. Next Tuesday against Bruges, because they are a good side. They are a good side. We've got to get our shape better, defend better, take our chances. A lot of this pass everywhere, not going anywhere. Needs to change as well. And hopefully, I know the fans at the moment are getting a wee bit frustrated, but hopefully they can still get behind the boys.
Yeah.
Well, get behind the boys.
Ibrox obviously on a big European night, and I think
Big
obviously
European night.
if the direction of traffic's going the right way, then there can be plenty of noise coming from the support.
That's it. If the fans see the players trying and going in for the 60-40s and running off the ball and winning the headers, no getting bullied, but then the fans they're right behind the boys. They're right behind the boys right away. So the boys need to dig deep as well.
That's obviously somebody that played centre back. How do you think you would have handled the way that Russell Martin's trying to get the likes of Stutz and Giga playing just now with that kind of possession base rather than just clearing your lines? Do you think that's something that you would have adapted well to?
No, really not. No. To be honest with you, no, really. My job as a defender was to win the ball. That was it. Their keeper kicks the ball, I win it in the air. No, halfway line, smack him at the halfway line. Let him know he's in the game. No, even at right back. And that's it. Our tactics, if the left back went forward, the right back tucks in. No, but totally different now. All this passing at the back. Sometimes we pass so much at the back, we get about 25 yards and we've lost the ball. Oh, I mean, we put ourselves under pressure. Oh, but the man, Russell Martin he's got a different way of playing, so that's the way he wants to play it. But I don't think that would work. I don't think that would work nowadays. No, that was it.
I don't think so. You mentioned your book, Scott. So coming out in September, where can people get copies of
it? Amazon, Waterstones, myself through Facebook, or Alistair Ayer through Facebook or Messenger as well. So it's coming out this September, red, white and true. No holds barred story. Everything, right up to the present day.
And as and when it's released, us here at the Fourth Official, we'll get some links out to all you watchers and listeners, and we'll get links out as to where you can get a copy, because the stories that will be involved in that book, I'm sure, will be well worth the purchase. Let us in on one of them, Scott, one of the ones that are maybe slightly more radio friendly, that might not necessarily be something that, but give us one of the stories from the book that can let us sign off and give people a bit of an insight into what they can expect when it comes out.
I'll give you Mo Johnston. That happened in my room in Italy. Oh, he's busted up with Souness. So what's happened is the international boys got to stay up a wee bit later. From the rest of us. Coisty and Big Mark and Mo, because they had been on international duty, so because we were in Choco, but they had been bevying. So soon as let them have a few drinks, but we Mo took it to an extreme and was absolutely smashed. So he came up to I'm sharing a room with myself and Ian Ferguson, and then Mo started banging on the door, trying to get in. And Fergie be Fergie. Mo, you're not getting in. Let us in. I said, Mo, you're not getting in. The next thing, Mo's kicked the door in. And because with the bed's been small, me and Fergie have took the mattresses off the bed and we're sleeping on the floor. So Mo's kicked the door in. He's fell over my bed onto the springs. And that's how he's facing. That's how his face ended up all cut, and he started, it was so funny, he just went boing and back up. So me and Fergie just looked at his face and the two of us just burst out laughing at him. That's it. And it made Mo even worse. So he started throwing bottles of Perrier water against the wall and glass everywhere. So that's it. Walter Smith came up to get him to his bed. Coisty tried to get him to his bed. Eventually got him into his room. And then in the morning, emergency meeting, and then that was it. Mo thought I had punched him. when he woke up in the morning, because his face was all cut. Because Mo came down, he looked terrible when he came down to the meeting in the morning. Absolutely terrible. And Mo turned into me and went, did you punch me? I went, no, I told him the story and everybody was laughing at him. And the next thing, him and Souness had the biggest bust up in front of all the boys. That was it. And the Souness was left in one position. He had to send him home. And that was it. But I can't tell you, because we're on air, what words were said. But I've got to keep it a bit clean.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
But it's in the book. That was it. Mo's face got battered in my bedroom.
We will absolutely look forward to reading all about that, Scott, and everything else that you've got in the book. Fingers crossed next Tuesday for a similar result than the last time Bruges came to Ibrox in the Champions League. Certainly we would take that all day long. It's been an absolute honour and a real privilege to obviously speak to you here on the Fourth Official. From me and from everyone, obviously, we wish you continued good health as you obviously recover from your kind of cancer battles, and we wish you to obviously stay. You're a player who's certainly well regarded within the Rangers family, and it's been brilliant to speak with you.
Well, thanks for having me. Tomorrow, I'm back in hospital tomorrow for all my blood, CT, ultrasounds, and everything. All my tests tomorrow. Just want to thank everybody for the massive support as well. Thanks for having me on your podcast. Been much appreciated as well, and I've loved it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Scott. It's been a pleasure to speak with you, and a big thank you to you for joining us here on the Fourth Official. We'll speak to you next time. Goodbye.
Thank you. All the best. Bye.